Driving a car is perhaps the most risky activity that most people do each day, but there are some locations on Earth where danger can be found around every turn, from islands covered with snakes to subterranean fire pits. Today, we're ranking the top 10 most dangerous places in the world. If you guys like this video, go and hit the like and subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you don't miss out. Australia has a reputation for being one of the deadliest places on Earth. It is home to more deadly snakes than any other nation, the animal with the world's strongest bite, and so many venomous and poisonous animals that tourists are discouraged from visiting the outback. However, one island in particular has claimed the title of most dangerous place in Australia. Its deadly beaches are home to practically everything you want to avoid if you're trying to stay alive. In fact, rescue teams have even had to save people from drown. The island is known for both shark attacks and dingo attacks. Dingoes are a breed of feral dog native to Australia. Like any wild, untamed predator, they can be very dangerous to humans. To make the beach even more terrifying, there are numerous stinging jellyfish with venom so potent that swimmers must receive treatment at a hospital. Fraser Island is extremely dangerous. There's a good chance you've heard of the Fukushima nuclear disaster, which occurred after a powerful earthquake and a 15-meter tsunami that cut off the cooling and power to 3 Fukushima Daiichi reactors, resulting in a nuclear accident on March 11, 2011. All 3 reactors largely melted down within the first 3 days, and aside from the Chernobyl nuclear disaster, this was the worst nuclear meltdown in history, according to official statistics. The area is still regarded as one of the most dangerous places in the world, and Japanese citizens are still prohibited from visiting the area because by 2022 the power plant will run out of space for contaminated water, meaning that they will pour the remaining water into the Pacific Ocean, effectively poisoning anyone who dares to visit the ocean. The island of Camada Grande, also known as Snake Island, is located in the Atlantic Ocean off the coast of Brazil. The island lives up to 1 snake per square foot, the majority of which are fatally venomous. Legends even claim that if fishermen brought their boats too close to the island, the snakes would swim out and eat them. Pit vipers make up the majority of the island's snake population, which is especially concerning as they account for 90% of snakebite cases in Brazil. There is almost no hope of returning to land in time to obtain medical assistance because the island is 90 kilometers off the coast of Brazil and their poison proves lethal in just 1 hour. Since the late 1920s, when the local lighthouse keeper and his fan were allegedly eaten by vipers that slithered in through the windows, Snake Island has been uninhabited. Currently, the Navy visits the lighthouse on occasion to maintain it and make sure no adventurers are wandering too close to the island. However, there isn't a lot of demand from tourists or locals to visit the island. Los Cabos is where the capital of Baja California Sur, Mexico's most dangerous city, was once known as a tranquil retreat. The outbreak of violence in Los Cabos' twin resort cities appears to be the result of rival factions trying to fill the void left by the drug lord and escape artist known as El Chapo. However, the violence hasn't typically been directed at tourists. More than 1 million US tourists visit Cabo San Lucas and San Jose del Cabo each year, making it one of the most well-known resort areas in the nation. However, in recent years, the region's relative peace has been shattered, and the Baja California Peninsula is now the scene of an unprecedented wave of violent crimes committed by rival gangs. Local officials emphasize that drug usage is not a victimless crime, and that if American consumers can cut back on their use of narcotics, particularly cocaine, they will save lives on the other side of the border. The situation has been made worse by the rising hunger for drugs in the United States. Death Valley is a place of extremes in this basin below sea level due to ongoing drought and record summer temperatures, yet each extreme has a startling contrast that towers above it. Death Valley is aptly named, especially since many unfortunate people lost their lives here before the establishment of the national park system. It is also the lowest point in North America, lying 282 feet below sea level. Peaks are covered in winter snow, and infrequent rainstorms bring vast fields of wildflowers to life. In July 2018, the hottest month on record, the average temperature was 108.1 degrees Fahrenheit, including overnight lows. Daytime highs reached a temperature of 127 degrees Fahrenheit for 4 days in a row. There are many documented accounts of settlers dying in these lands. That water basin is a surreal landscape that tricks the senses, meaning that normally sane people can start to hallucinate purely from this manic landscape. One of the lowest and most geologically active regions on Earth is the Danakil Desert, which locals refer to as the Gates of Hell. Volcanic eruptions, earthquakes, lava lakes, and sulfur springs that bubble up are more common than not. Iron oxides, copper salts, and other minerals are combined by the sulfur, producing a spectrum of unearthly hues. In the heart of the Horn of Africa, the acid lakes are as gorgeous as they are dangerous. The violent landscape is arguably the hottest place on Earth and one of the driest. Temperatures regularly reach 113 degrees Fahrenheit, meaning that if you enter the desert unprepared, you may never return. The Danakil Depression is one of the most remote, inhospitable, and least studied places in the world. It is located over 330 feet below sea level in a volcanic area in northwest Ethiopia, close to the border with Eritrea. Locals and researchers alike exercise extreme caution while entering this harsh environment because of the high concentration of sulfur gases that are combined with the most harmful consequences. Many experts think that even a brief visit to the Danakil Desert can have negative health impacts. More than 50 ships and 20 aircraft have vanished in this area of the Atlantic Ocean off the eastern coast of the United States, making it one of the best-known natural mysteries in the world. Reports of strange occurrences in the area date back to the middle of the 19th century. Some ships were found completely abandoned for no apparent reason, while others did not send out any distress signals and were never seen or heard from again. Outside of the conspiracy sphere, there are two dominant ideas. A sailing crew would be caught off guard by a succession of rogue waves in the region, which would sink them before they had a chance to send out a stress signal. The first is that the magnetic field is disrupted in this location, leading navigational gear to tragically malfunction. However, the Bermuda Triangle constitutes a significant portion of the fabled lore of the 50 most hazardous places in the world, 47 of which are in the Americas, with the remaining 3 all located in South Africa, with Cape Town at the top of the list. It may not come as a surprise that Cape Town has risen on the list of the world's most dangerous cities as a result of the recent increase in violent crime rates. However, it's also crucial to understand that both tourists and locals alike are very rarely affected by it in Cape Town if they act responsibly and have the knowledge to make informed decisions. Additionally, it's necessary to be aware that things can frequently be generalized. Although crime is high throughout the country, it's undeniable that crime is a reality in South Africa. The alkaline water in Lake Natron has a pH as high as 10.5 and is so caustic that it can burn an animal's skin and eyes, so don't be deceived by the ring of salty marshes along its edge. This body of water is one of the most inhospitable places on Earth. It is one of the most serene lakes in Africa, but it is also the source of some of the most phantasmagorical photographs ever taken. The sodium carbonate, which was previously employed in Egyptian mummification and accumulates in the lake, gives the water its alkalinity. As you might assume, sodium carbonate also functions as an excellent kind of preservation for any creatures unlucky enough to perish in Lake Natron's waters. Only one species of fish, some algae, and a colony of flamingos that regularly breed on the shore are found in the harsh waters that can reach 140 degrees Fahrenheit. Migrating birds occasionally crash into the lake, but when they do, they are often rendered immobile by the corrosive water, but the lake is unquestionably beautiful. Turkmenistan is a repressive Central Asian republic with 5.5 million people and was formerly a part of the Soviet Union. It is well known for its human rights abuses and totalitarian government. Turkmenistan also has the 6th largest natural gas reserve in the world, which would be a fairly uninteresting fact if it weren't for the fact that it gave rise to one of the wildest places on Earth, the Devasa gas crater. A Soviet drilling rig accidentally drilled into a sizable underground natural gas cavern in 1971, causing the ground to cave in and the drilling rig itself to fall in. Because the drilling rig had punctured a pocket of gas, poisonous fumes started leaking at an alarming rate to prevent a potential environmental catastrophe. The fiery pit was lit by the Soviets with the expectation that it would burn out in a few weeks, yet decades later it is still blazing. On the opposite side of the entrance to hell, the location of the Soviet drilling rig is still unknown.